Crabman from Crabman Gaming here, and today I am playing WWE 13, the Attitude Era mode with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
WrestleMania 14, the biggest event of all time.
It's the Austin 316 storyline. Looks like Ken Shamrock, Rock, Mark Henry, and Cactus Jack. It's Austin. It's Austin.
What? That's Austin's music. It's Stone Cold. Stone Cold is
You
here.
hit a stunner on the Rock.
How did Austin make it? Austin said, "No more Mr. Nice Guy," as if he ever was one. Well, there's no way
Don't eliminate
Stone
Rock
Cold's
yet.
gonna
Don't
get
eliminate
through
him.
the rest of the competitors in the Royal Rumble.
Oh no.
Missed him. A shot to the gut. He's enjoying this. He might be done here.
It's a double team. Rock and Austin are working together. I'll go through Austin's career a little bit later. Through WCW as Stunning Steve, ECW, brief time in ECW, and I don't want to eliminate The Rock. And then obviously his time in the WWE.
The two tie up, testing their strength.
Here comes the Road Dogg. Boom, 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 boom.
Use every trick in the book here.
Alright, so I gotta eliminate 3 people. I wonder if it counts as a joint elimination. Alright, it's quite easy. It's not the button pressing of before. Sorry, Shamrock. Revenge for King of the Ring 1998. Rock vs. Shamrock. King of the Ring final.
Just couldn't make it happen tonight. And that was broken up before it could land. And that wild attack won't find a home.
Mark Henry buddies with The Rock in the Nation of Domination. I've got a signature. I hit the signature on Henry. I think his signature's that elbow.
Look at this. Big bulldog.
And how many people are left? Right, so memory.
What an impact from that kick.
So Austin's 6-time WWE champion. I could just check over some of his other stats, but tag team champions with Brian Pillman.
Bam! He just turned him inside out.
I think I had a signature in the corner. He's lifted Mark Henry up over the ropes. Take this, Mark Henry. Have you been enjoying these playthroughs? Oh, he's hung on. I've got a finisher. I need to get The Rock.
No. Cactus Jack turns things around. The 27th
That's been a good 3-way. Cactus Jack.
Come out. And you know he's got to be
Stunner on The Rock. Stunner on The Rock.
stunner.
It's Bradshaw as well. The future WWE champion, which no one would have imagined in 1998. Part of the Ministry of Darkness and the Acolytes at this time. This time Henry's gone. We can eliminate Rock now, but were Rock and Austin the last 2 in this Rumble? I can't remember. I like this mini game where you've got to stop it in the middle. Oh, hang on.
Short shot to the throat. He misjudged the range.
Why did that end so early? I'm not sure why. Let's try it again.
Hammers one hole.
I don't really like the button tap ones, or just the button mash. The skill game ones are good. Because it feels like if you're good, you can eliminate them, and if you're bad, you don't eliminate them. Let's definitely have Austin Bradshaw at the final 2. That'd be cool. See, I don't really like these button press ones because it just feels like these are really easy to do. See you later, Road Dogg. He's trapped his head in the ropes. It's Royal Rumble 2000 all over again. Alright, we're just wearing down the meter. Bradshaw with a straight right hand. I've got another finish. I've got another stunner. Oops, I've forgotten how to change people. I want to use the finisher when they're on the ropes.
Austin's just opening a can. Next entrance, getting ready to come out.
There we go, because it's just an automatic elimination. Sliding dropkick. It's Farouk of Domination. This video is using the Nation music while he has his acolyte gear. There's press. There's press. I forgot who's number 30 in this Rumble.
Austin spots the opening.
Reversed. Former WCW World Heavyweight Champion Ron Simmons. Oh, he's gone though. He's gone straight away. I wanted to do one of the other animations, but he's out of here.
Has been put away.
Austin's going to WrestleMania. Austin's going to WrestleMania. I think there's one entrant to go. Surely Farouk wasn't the last entrant. Here we go. Let's check his watch. Check your watch. Check your watch.
And he's having a heck of a rumble. That elimination.
Check your watch. Oh, he can't do it to him up there.
Austin's in a fighting mood. Oh, things are about to get mean now that
It's Triple H.
is in there. I've seen this before.
Oh, we blurred the fingers as well. Ode to Joy. The pedal music is back. And it is Austin Helmsley. Austin and Helmsley. Austin and Helmsley. Got a signature.
Oh, a brutal clothesline. Oh, a huge shoulder.
Helmsley's gone. Helmsley's gone.
That's it for Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Oh, there must be someone else to come as well. I thought he was just going to do a stunner on the top rope. That would have been really cool. I don't know why he didn't do the stunner. Take that, Triple H. Do some rope running. Turn. Right hand on the rope. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3,
He's
2,
trying to get
1.
inside his head. Dude Love, as unpredictable a superstar as they come, looking to get things started.
This was the Rumble of Three Faces of Foley. Mankind was in early, then Cactus Jack, and then Dude Love to complete the trifecta. If I remember, Farouk was in the final four here. I think it was Farouk, Rock, Dude Love, and Austin. Hit it early.
And Dogg. Heads up.
Crown him, King, crown him.
The sky's being the limit. I mean, that's how you pick your moment and go for it. Nice, well-placed kick to the ribs.
If it was the Royal Rumble, you should just kick them in the groin, because there are no disqualifications, except when Finlay got disqualified for using the shillelagh, which made no sense whatsoever. It's like the time Hell in a Cell went to a non-finish. Seth Rollins and The Fiend. Like, just what were they thinking? What were they thinking? He's got him! And it's over! It's over! Austin wins! Austin wins! Austin wins!
Stone Cold is going to WrestleMania! Oh no, I can't believe it! The Texas Rattlesnake will be going to WrestleMania 14! Stone Cold was a marked man. He had to walk through broken glass to do it, but he did it. Stone Cold has won the Rumble. The toughest SOB is on his way to WrestleMania to meet the champion.
Steve Austin has been victorious here tonight. He'll be meeting the WWF champion at WrestleMania. Here comes the Road Dogg. Now, if I did, who has better call somebody?
Following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring at a combined weight of 497 pounds.
It's the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass, Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Over to Billy. Now, I didn't explain this at the start of the video, but I'm counting this as a first playthrough, kind of in brackets, first playthrough in 8 years. So I don't really know what's happening in these storylines. Obviously I know from the TV, but I don't know who I'm wrestling in the game. I haven't looked up any spoilers or walkthroughs or what's going to happen. I'll only do that if I get completely stuck, which I did in the DX mode. You have to grab the belt off the table. That was annoying, but otherwise it's all fresh to me for the first time in over 8 years.
and gentlemen, Stone Cold
I've got a stunner on Billy Gunn. I've got a Stone Cold stunner.
And he doesn't give a damn who is Austin.
Take that, Billy.
Stunner connects him out of nowhere. The Texas Rattlesnake may have just won this.
Alright, now we've got to beat Road Dogg in under 2 minutes.
Right hand.
Bump lots of mud holes. What's this, pile driver? Texas pile driver from Steve Austin. The Terry Funk inspiration. And he's busted Road Dogg wide open.
After all of these shots to the head, I've got a feeling that Soup's going to be... Austin's got it! Stone Cold!
Stunner on Road Dogg, stunner on Road Dogg. Oh, get lost, Billy.
Oh, he's been knocked to the floor. Bulldog headlock.
Let's try and put him with the Bulldog.
To the floor. There's
Come on, ref.
One,
Let's kick out.
2, 3. Turn it around, ref. Oh, what a knee. Hey, he's going for it.
Second stunner, second stunner.
My God.
Oh, he's rolled out the ring.
He's in survival mode after that. Big time impact.
I think Nick Breaker should do it after 2 stunners.
We got a cover. Oh man, that fall.
That time I think he hyperextended his knee badly. Oh gosh.
Alright, pin him, pin him, pin him. Back suplex.
A suplex like that takes a lot of power and delivers a lot of it.
Gun him. Come on, ref.
I think he's finished.
No.
A tough jawbreaker there. Could this be it? 2.
Oh, 1 second to go. 1 second. I can't believe I did that. 1 second to go.
We have an ambulance in the back, and it must have been ordered by DX. Stone Cold's gonna fight the world. Forget it.
It's 4 on 1. It's 4 on 1.
It's a mugging. It's a damn mugging. They're trying to chew the rattlesnake up. Stone Cold Steve Austin is being assaulted.
Stone Cold, this is as close as you're ever gonna get. You know what to argue. This is it. This is it, Austin. This is it.
Throughout the mid-90s, WCW had dominated WWE in the Monday Night Wars. But as WrestleMania 14 drew closer, Vince McMahon knew he had to put it all on the line. And he did just that when he brought in the baddest man on the planet.
Iron Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson!
I want a piece of Mike Tyson's ass. So here's to ya.
Tyson and Austin. Tyson and Austin. Tyson and Austin.
My name is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. I am calling your ass out right now, right here.
The world wants to see this. This is not sanctioned.
Mike Tyson has joined D-Generation X. Sadly, no China in this game.
That runs this show. DX, Mike Tyson, it don't really make a damn. You cannot break Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold
Said so.
The fans all want to know the truth. Do you want Stone Cold Steve Austin as the world champion?
It's not just a no, it's a oh hell no! I do what I want, when I want, and can't nobody
Great
stop
celebrate,
me.
Sarge.
Who will come out the world champion?
You will heartbreak.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Championship.
Are you ready? Here's the Rage Against the Machine. Generation X entrance. Here comes Iron Mike Tyson.
Is for the WWE Championships. Making his way to the ring, weighing 239 pounds, Mike Tyson.
It was one of the later games where they couldn't agree to a likeness fee or an appearance fee, where they just replace him with a really generic outside enforcer. But there are quite a lot of wrestlers who are not in this game, WWE 13, so I'll just list through some of them here. Kurt Angle was in TNA at the time, so he doesn't appear. Chris Benoit for obvious reasons. There were no Hardy Boys or Dudley Boys, as they were both in TNA. Too Cool and Rikishi aren't in it, which is unusual because they weren't really anywhere at this time.
Are you ready?
Here comes Shawn Michaels. There's no Taz as he was working in TNA.
And his opponent from San Antonio, Texas, weighing 227 pounds, he is the WWE Champion, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
So if I remember correctly, you're meant to battle up to the drum set and use the drum set as a weapon, just like in the game. But no China, which is a bit of a disappointment. China, it was a long time before China was in a WWE game again. I think 2019. No Goldust, he was floating around TNA. Right to center, doesn't really matter too much. No D'Lo Brown, which is unusual. Or Gangrel or Viscera. So no real Ministry storyline in this game, which would have been really cool, even though the Ministry was massive. Here comes Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Texas Rattlesnake, ready to become WWF Champion for the first time. Oh, this is wrong as well. So at WrestleMania 15, Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't have his leather vest to wear to the ring, so the story is that he accidentally left it at home, and he just has to wear a regular Stone Cold t-shirt to the ring, and in his entrance you can see that he's really, really unhappy about it. So despite the game putting him in his Austin vest, he should have been in just a Austin t-shirt with a rattlesnake on the front, and it was in the Broken Skull session. He was really unhappy that he forgot his trademark vest for the biggest match of his career against Shawn Michaels. And apparently Undertaker was in a gorilla position as well, just to ensure Shawn Michaels did the right thing and that there was no Montreal element involved. It was also Shawn Michaels' last match for 4 years until his 2002 SummerSlam match against Triple H. The following matchup is for the WWF Championship. So still in the era where no scratch logo was allowed. They could use that old logo in the WWE WrestleMania sign, but they couldn't use the scratch logo.
Nobody has ever, and I mean ever, outperformed Shawn Michaels in a big match situation. And folks, it don't get no bigger than this. This is what our business is all about. It's about earning the opportunity to compete in the main event at WrestleMania.
Oh, and look at Shawn Michaels. He's so full of himself.
He's got great confidence, and rightfully so.
He's got Mike Tyson.
You may be right there. Michaels looks to be in magnificent shape, and so does Stone Cold Steve Austin in his traditional black boots. Black tie.
Yeah, and Stone Cold will also use his traditional hand gestures.
We're back and forth in the early going. Watch out, ref. Again, Noel Hebner, because I think he was in TNA as well at the time, having been released from WWE for apparently selling counterfeit merchandise. If you are enjoying this video as well, really appreciate you flicking a like down the bottom. If you comment, I will comment back, and if you subscribe, that is awesome as well. But absolutely no pressure to do so. Plenty of other wrestling on my channel though. I've played through all the story modes since Just Bring It through to WWE 13. I have 38 Royal Rumbles on my channel. Lots of other things as well for you to enjoy. Some full game playthroughs. A few other random things.
This could get interesting. Whoa! That was an
So if you like, you can check those out.
Sometimes when you go high risk, you crash and burn.
A couple other ways to support the channels as well in the comments below. But otherwise, just sit back and enjoy WWE 13.
Back they go into the
Well, you
ring.
can get counted out, so it's going to be tough to get to the drum kit unless the Attitude Era moment or the WWE Attitude moment. Oh no! Moonsault has missed. He's crashed and burned. Let's flip the bird to Mike Tyson. Take that, Mike Tyson.
He almost beheaded his opponent with that clothesline. The punch connects.
Is it just me, or is there certain moves that the frame rate seems to dip a little bit?
What a series! Nobody's backing down here.
Well, Michaels is certainly no pushover.
He's putting those educated feet to good use. And
Probably because he
Michaels
has
that far
quite a
look
high
in his
reversal
eye.
rate.
Michaels reverses
Click in the eye? Yeah.
A spectacular counter by Stone
I still haven't gone through all of
Cold
Austin's
Steve
stats, so I'll try and whiz through them as best I can. He's in WCW from 1991 to 1995. Spent some time in ECW in 95 before
Austin spots the
going to the
opening.
WWE from 95 till the end of his run in 2003 as an active performer. Was the WCW TV champion
And he hits him
twice.
with an impressive combination of kicks.
The
Another
WCW
shot.
United States champion twice. The tag team champions twice as
Did you
well.
hear the impact from that clothesline? Look at those shots from Stone
He was
Cold.
a WWF champion 6 times, Intercontinental champion twice, easy for me to say, and tag team champion on 4 different occasions. Once with Shawn Michaels, who is wrestling now, once with The Undertaker, once with Dude Love, and once with Triple H as part of the 2-man power trip.
That's what everybody's asking. What's going to be the difference? Will it be that super kick, or will it be the Stone Cold Stunner?
He was the Royal Rumble winner in 1998, 1999, and 2001, and was the King of the Ring in 1996, which sparked the infamous Austin 316 promo.
Austin's got it.
Shawn Michaels is about to do his comeback there. He's been busted wide open. He has been busted wide open. The former stunner on Michaels. Where's the attitude moment? Nice back bump from Michaels. Can't wait for this. The problem is with this attitude moment is it comes out of nowhere like an RKO. And if you press the wrong button, you have to play the whole game again. You have to play the whole match again. That's what happened with the Road Dogg match. I had to play it a couple of times just to win within 2 minutes. Some of these objectives can be really hard. Here it is. We've ducked, we've hit the ref. Now I've just got to win by pinfall. I reckon if I just pin him, that could be it. Mike Tyson, make the pin, Mike, make the call. I love his fast count, his fast count. Austin's the champion. Austin's the champion.
WWE champion, and folks, he is a rattlesnake. And I don't think Shawn Michaels can believe what he's seeing. Mike Tyson siding with Austin. Maybe this is the setup all along. Michaels standing up to Tyson, the baddest man on the planet. Oh! Tyson, the right pin.
Down goes Michaels.
I can't believe it. Mike Tyson has knocked out Shawn Michaels. This place is going nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, will you ever forget WrestleMania 14?
That's gotta be Kane. This is with the time when
Is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Paul Bearer, weighing 323 pounds, Kane.
this is when Vince McMahon had set up a triple threat with Austin defending against Undertaker and Kane. Undertaker and Kane both pinned Austin after a double choke slam, so the title was vacated. This match is... oh, we're still at WrestleMania. Oh, this is the Undertaker-Kane match in WrestleMania. I thought this was the Undertaker-Kane match for the vacant WWE Championship. So it is not, where Austin's the ref. and then counts them both out. That could be coming later. We are still at WrestleMania. This match wasn't the best. Although I remember Undertaker hitting 3 tombstones. Talk about his traditional entrance here. I love the Ministry music though, which would debut shortly after this. This is traditional Undertaker music. This is when I have to talk over, because half the time I have to cut Undertaker's music and entrance out.
From Death Valley, weighing 299 pounds, The Undertaker.
And he is the Phenom, a legendary 30-year career in WWE, although he was in WCW as Mean Mark Callis? I think so. Mean Mark, I'm just going to stick with Mean Mark. Big Red, Booger Red, as he was called. But here comes The Undertaker, undefeated at WrestleMania. I think this was, what are we at, 1998. So this is either 7-0 or 8-0 here against Kane. I do remember the 3 tombstones in this match, which I thought was cool because it still made Kane look really, really strong. So even though he was defeated by The Undertaker, it took 3 tombstones to do it, which was a little bit more rare to see wrestlers give out multiple finishes in a match. It was kept quite rare. But here is The Undertaker, now retired. I think ended up 23-2 at WrestleMania, although I could be wrong. First defeated by Brock Lesnar, and then by Roman Reigns when everyone thought he retired, but he continued to wrestle for a little bit longer. His actual last regular wrestling match was in Saudi Arabia for the 2-weight trophy, where he pinned AJ Styles, but all he did was a chokeslam. And then his final actual match was the Boneyard match, the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania 36 against AJ Styles, which would be the last appearances of the club, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, before they were released just a couple of weeks later. So we need a chokeslam, which I assume is his signature.
Ooh, hard shot by Undertaker. Kane and big DDT.
Oh, it's going to do it old school. Weird, Dave. We didn't do this match first, even though this is the Austin place.
I'd be searching in my tights for a white flag I could wave.
But I think some of them are mixed together a little bit. Old school? Nope. Tree of Woe? Oh no, Snake Eyes. That's the move that seems to trigger a little bit of slowdown.
Kane with a devastating counter. Oh, mama! Taker reverses it. Oh my gosh, what a slam!
They had a pretty good feud in 2010 over the World Heavyweight Championship.
Uh-oh, scoop slam!
Paul Bearer returned after Undertaker had killed him in the cement in the concrete crypt. What was interesting about that was they filmed that earlier in the day, and by the time the show was on, Paul Bearer was actually not even in the arena anymore. He was on a plane back home, and there was a stunt double for the live crowd. But every time they cut to the close-up, that was earlier in the day, which is a really bizarre way to have filmed it. Chokeslam? Oh no, how do we do a chokeslam?
Undertaker may be thinking old school. He is! Oh, that agility is just freakish. What's he up to here?
We're going outside the ring.
And here we go. Undertaker's looking for some massive impact.
So here's one tombstone. We still need to do a chokeslam though.
Great ring presence to avoid that. A suplex like that takes a lot of power and delivers a lot of impact.
This match might go for a little while, but I have to hit 3 tombstones. I've got to build my finish up 3 times, and then still have to figure out how to do chokeslam. Let's do the.
Up the turnbuckle goes Undertaker. Watch out! My God, what a move! Wow, I'm glad I'm not in there with Taker.
I had to look it up quickly so I don't get this match wrong. But I believe the chokeslam is the direction and your finisher. It's not one of your signatures, which would help. So if I press down, there we go. There's the chokeslam, and they need to hit 2 more tombstones. So really quite long-winded. Kane doesn't seem to have accrued any damage at all. It's the most annoying part of these Attitude Era modes. The good part is that I unlock stuff, and I like unlocking stuff this way better than just paying for it. So that's pretty cool. However, some of the checklists are a little bit annoying. So the one against Austin Road Dogg, where Billy Gunn kept interfering, that was annoying. Also, Road Dogg had a ring escape, so you'd hit him with one stunner, he'd do a ring escape. You'd hit him with a second stunner, Billy Gunn would get on the apron. So to win in 2 minutes was quite hard. The worst one was the Outlaws versus the Legion of Doom, because you had the belt at ringside, and it gave you about 20 seconds to get the belt and hit Hawk with it. But you always got attacked by Animal at the same time, so what you had to do is retrieve the belt earlier in the match and just drop it by your corner. But it's really hard to know that. I had to look that up. Tombstone number 2. No good. Pin on the last one. Should have been another closing. Oh, it's in the leg drop maybe. Oh, the Austin fist drop.
And did you hear the impact on that kick? Nice move there by Kane to reverse it.
This is longer than the Austin Shawn Michaels main event. I'm not sure why we didn't play this first. We just didn't. I hope you're having a good day wherever you are as well. It's a very, very cold, rainy day in Crabman Land. Rain absolutely bucketing down. Another old school. So I hope you're staying warm, dry, safe, wherever you are, enjoying yourself watching these videos. Because it is just all about having a good time. Here we go, we could finish this off. Final tombstone. Boom, fold the arms over, and that absolutely has to be all. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. The Undertaker is victorious. What's happened to the ropes? Oh, they're back to normal. Very, very tight indeed wrestling ropes if you've ever felt them or had the privilege to run the ropes. Not quite as soft and springy as you might imagine. Very hard indeed. You hit that wrong, absolutely it is going to hurt. Undertaker, oh, he's doing the teapot, the hands on hips, like, whew, gee, that match was interesting. But Undertaker is victorious over his brother Kane. This is the Undertaker Kane match for the WWE Championship.
The contest is an Inferno match.
An Inferno match.
Making his way to the ring, weighing 323 pounds, Kane.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next, we witness the heated rivalry between these two fiery brothers explode as they do battle in the first ever Inferno match. The rules are simple. There are no pinfalls or submissions. The first person to set his opponent on fire wins the match.
I think there's only been a few of these in WWE history, about 5. There's this match, Kane versus Triple H, I remember. Kane versus MVP. The Fiend versus Randy Orton, and there's one more. I don't know if it was... I can't remember. Is this the one where Vader does a run-in and Kane does a dive over the top rope onto Vader? Might be this match. I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time, folks out there. A very, very long time between some of these matches since I've watched them.
From Death Valley, weighing 299 pounds, The Undertaker.
Neither
I
this
got a
is...
question for you, JR. How do you like your Undertaker?
regular or extra crispy.
You know,
Jerry
that's
Lawler.
not even funny. We've been told that this ring will be up over 200 degrees or more. But I think it's going to be hotter than hell.
Listen, Kane's already felt the flames, courtesy of his brother. He's lived his life being scarred by fire, thanks to The Undertaker.
Or so Kane's father, Paul Bearer, says, if that is his real name.
Well, now the tables are going to be turned.
It's Undertaker Kane. Yeah, I was saying, despite the Attitude Era being awesome, some of the sets for the pay-per-views are pretty average. By 99 and 2000, they start to become really awesome. I think in 2000, they had the best sets. I like the Backlash with the big swinging hooks. That was cool. Survivor Series had the big tower Shane McMahon could climb up. That was awesome as well. I really think like 2000 through to about 2004-05, the sets were really awesome for pay-per-views. They were really cool. But here's The Undertaker. Strange this is the Steve Austin storyline, and we've had 2 bonus matches here, Undertaker versus Kane twice. I'm trying to remember the other Inferno match. I can remember those 4. I can remember when The Undertaker burnt Vince's teddy, set its head on fire. That was pretty funny as well. Even though Vince ended up revealing himself to be the higher power, so despite Undertaker torturing him for weeks, it was just a ruse to get to Steve Austin. Alright, signature is the old school.
Here we go. The Undertaker wants to take the early advantage, much like he did at WrestleMania against his brother Kane. But the Undertaker put a tremendous amount of punishment.
And I think in this match you can see, if you watch the actual match, Undertaker's sitting in the corner and some of his hair sets on fire.
Well, what do you think it feels like inside that ring? He used all his weight on that leg drop. Up the turnbuckle. Oh, nice move off the top rope.
I did like when they hit a move and the flames did go up. That was pretty cool.
They're locked up.
And just all the spectacles in wrestling, because that's what wrestling is about. As much as I love a really good technical match, and I can watch Ring of Honor hour-long matches and Japanese matches, I love matches that go a long time. I also love really weird spectacles as well, because I think that's what wrestling is all about. Like, wrestling's about being different and having different match types. And I was listening to the Brilliant JR podcast, and they're talking about Buried Alive being a terrible concept, but as a kid I thought it was really cool because it's exciting and it's something different. You want to tune in to see something different. Choke slam! Huge choke slam. Lands on his neck. Luckily my neck broke before. Not going to get his damage to critical.
And the knuckles connect. Hard body shot connects.
Snake eyes. Throwing off the ropes, give him a boot.
Undertaker has
Close
beat
on.
everybody he's ever stepped in the ring with. It started 7 years ago at SummerSlam. He has never, ever been challenged like he is now by his brother Kane. Oh, this
Standing
thing
grapple.
is unbelievable. Feel my coat, Jared.
That's when Undertaker does the dive.
Kane
Do the
has
dive.
been thrown outside.
Oh no.
Kane's out of it. He doesn't know where he is.
The fire is shooting up.
Yes, I did the
That was
dive.
Undertaker.
Terrible dive, but I did
Oh my
one.
God, what a move. The Phenom was airborne. He went right through the fire. He went right over the top rope.
Kane's on fire. Kane's on
Kane's
fire.
on fire. Kane is burning. Undertaker has won the first ever Inferno match.
With the help of Iron Mike Tyson, Stone Cold Steve Austin captured the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 14 to the delight of the WWE Universe and to the dismay of Mr. McMahon.
Mr. Austin, with my vision, one day you might become the greatest champion of all time.
Only time he held that championship as well. There's the new title.
Vince McMahon tells Stone Cold Steve Austin
What to do.
Well, we can either do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
Stone Cold will never be Employee of the Month.
Now, you just deserve this.
To escape incarceration, Stone Cold was forced to conform to Mr. McMahon's overbearing demands.
My God, Austin's gone corporate.
This is the absolute last time you will ever see Stone Cold Steve Austin wearing a ridiculous suit. Now what I want you to do is bow down for Stone Cold.
The Austin-McMahon rivalry propelled WWE past WCW in the Monday Night Ratings for the first time in 2 years. An unusual encounter between the two would only serve to heighten the tension.
Look how jacked Vince is.
You said you could beat Vince McMahon with
one
one
arm
arm tied behind your back.
Oh, here we go. What the hell is that?
Now,
It's
Stone
corporate,
Cold,
dude.
I know you got your heart set on putting some heavy-duty booty to Uncle Vinny, but the dude has got to put the veto to this one.
Oh, no. He got the claw on Austin. I cannot believe Dude Love has assaulted the champion. Why? Why?
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's been a conspiracy between Vince McMahon and Dude Love all along.
Surprisingly, Dude is the #1 contender for Stone Cold's title, and Dude will challenge Stone Cold at Unforgiven. Is Vince McMahon going to screw Austin out of the title?
Here comes the Dude Love. Now, I think this is one of Dude Love's best ever matches, one of Mick Foley's best matches ever. Go and watch it.
WWE Championship. And introducing the challenger. From Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing 287 pounds, Dude Love.
A really interesting idea to make Dude Love heel as well, like corporate Dude Love. This match is just so good. I implore you, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. Go and watch it. Get it up on the WWE Network, or sadly, if you're in America, up on Peacock. You poor guys having to be on Peacock. But anyway, the VKM tattoo on his arm, I love it. This match is absolutely fantastic. Along with the knee knocking from Mrs. Foley's baby boy. It's Austin, it's Austin, it's Austin, the WWF champion. I love that title.
WWE champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I know most people love the Winged Eagle, but this is my absolute favourite WWE Championship belt. I don't know why, maybe it's because it was around during the Attitude Era and I absolutely love it. Some people love that Undisputed belt or the Good Gold belt, but this is my absolute favourite championship. I love it. If I could bring back one championship, it would be this one. I thought this design was awesome. But there are a lot of championships at the moment. I like the United Kingdom Championship. That's really good. Walter, over 2 years as champion. I hope they let him break the 3-year mark. Maybe take the title off him at next year's WrestleMania. Because I can't really see who else should be the face of NXT UK, especially still with limited attendance. They may as well let him keep the championship for 3 years. Maybe break Hulk Hogan's record and go for 4 years. That'd be pretty awesome. Wonder when they're having another special. They haven't had a pay-per-view for a while, NXT UK. A little bit hard at the moment, but more things are opening up. This following matchup is for the WWF Championship. I think Justin Roberts was doing the ring announcing as well, which was not true to real life. You have to take these games with a pinch of salt. Who's available?
Tremendous ovation for the Rattlesnake in his first pay-per-view title defense. And what an opportunity for Dude Love. Black boots, black tights, black heart for Austin. And can you believe that a wrestling administrator once said that Austin would never make it in black tights? What an idiot.
Well, I think that Dude Love's going to make an idiot out of Austin tonight.
Look at Dude Love. He's got a new hairstyle. His hair's frosted. He's really into this Dude Love persona. How much force was delivered there?
Did he have his hair tied up for this match? I can't remember.
And I mean stiff shot there. Dude Love taking punishment now. A suplex like that takes a lot of power and delivers a lot of impact. Oh, the elbow connects. Where's the rattlesnake going?
We'll crown him. Oh no. Superplex. I thought the dude was going to go for a Hurricane Rana.
Oh no, what did we just see? Great reversal by Steve Austin. Devastating. And friends and neighbors, that's one heck of a punch. And can you
Big running neck breaker from Austin.
And he strikes.
I wonder what match we've got last. Well, how much longer this has to go. You really can't tell unless you check the menu. The DX playthrough had 12 matches. I'm not sure how long the Austin playthrough is. You'll be able to see because you'll see how long is left of this video. But as of recording, I have no idea. Just keeping myself entertained. Cactus clothesline, cactus clothesline. On a very cold, rainy day.
And he hits the DDT.
Gonna find time to get these videos recorded. But I got some time, because we know we're all busy. I could increase my channel about 150 times the size it is now. I could do this full time, which would be awesome. At the moment, I'm just enjoying myself.
The two tie up, testing their strength.
I don't know, what's your best or your favourite Steve Austin match? I'm just trying to have a think. Like, this is definitely one of them. It's one of my most favourite Mick Foley matches. It's probably the most underrated Foley match because you can say Randy Orton, Mick Foley at Backlash 2004, or, you know, Hell in a Cell or Royal Rumble Street Fight with Triple H, or the Street Fight with Edge at WrestleMania. But those are the ones everyone remembers. This match kind of gets forgotten about.
A huge right hand. Austin spots the opening. Huge power move.
Gee, takes a lot of damage. There's no winning this one in 2 minutes. Gotta be waiting for that attitude moment. Which generally comes after a certain either amount of time or damage. I'm not really sure which one.
It was a catastrophe to some. That was at Survivor Series, when Vince McMahon was the center of controversy in what some thought would change the course of wrestling. Well, in my opinion, that's just a little bit.
Austin's got it.
Here comes Vince McMahon. Here's Vinnie Mac. Might keep this finisher
Move there to take the steam out of Dude
after this
Love.
attitude moment. When's it hitting?
Ooh, Dude is feeling that. Oh, man. What a decapitating clothesline.
He's going to be busted wide open. Oh no, counter.
Dude Love can come out of nowhere.
The problem with the attitude moment as well is that generally you're kind of blasting the controls like the counter or strike. Or counter. But you don't want to trigger the here we go. The wrong one by mistake. Triangle. Boom! Succeeded at the moment. What's the hidden objective?
Absolutely flattened. Dude Love taking punishment now. Another shot with the boot. Another stiff kick.
Counter by the Dude. Where's he going?
And he's getting out of there.
Where's he going? Within 20 seconds, grab a chair and strike Dude Love. Is there a chair under here?
No countouts in this match.
There better be a chair here. Okay, awesome.
Underneath the ring. There's no telling what's under this ring.
Woo. What a chair shot on Vince. McMahon is down. I remember that chair shot. It is brutal.
And Dude Love and Mr. McMahon seem to be conspiring.
Oh, calm down,
Stunner.
JR. They're just Austin.
Get up, Ref.
Oh, there it is.
He busted him open with the stunner, which is amazing. Come on, Ref, get up. Who's that ref? I think it was Earl Hebner, but not now.
Stone Cold Steve Austin has
Oh, he uses the ref's hand. He uses the ref's hand.
The referee is down.
And he counts himself.
The toughest SOB in the WWE is still WWE champion.
WWF champion. How is that allowed?
Vince McMahon, the owner of the
WWF with a chair.
Should I fire Stone Cold Steve Austin? Not yet.
What a chair shot.
Rather than fire Austin, Vince McMahon presented Dude Love with opportunity.
McMahon has his #1 contender.
And over the edge, Vince McMahon might have stacked the cards against Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mr. McMahon will be the special referee.
But I really don't give a rat's ass about all that.
To further ensure a new champion be crowned at Over the Edge, the WWE owner would try to drain the rattlesnake's venom.
I assaulted Stone Cold Steve Austin and got away with it.
Since I was assaulted, arrest that piece of trash right now.
How dare you have me arrested and then place conditions upon my release? I apologize. A condition of apology, which I did not mean. There isn't one superstar that can intimidate me.
But Stone Cold was looking to do more than merely intimidate the chairman.
Taking that action.
What the hell out of Vince McMahon? Right here. There's Dude Love.
What a chair shot.
Cole has just committed career suicide.
No chance, so that's what you got. Wait, his pecs.
And it's for the WWE Championship. Please welcome the special referee for this match. From Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing in at 248 pounds, Mr. McMahon.
It's the boss. No chance. Boom, 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 boom. No chance in hell. You've got no chance. Oh, he's taped his wrist just to be the ref as well. No chance in hell. He was wearing those Vince McMahon black pants as well. With good jeans. Should have put Vince in some trunks. Here's Dude Love again. Hey.
His opponent, from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing 287 pounds, Dude Love.
Here's Dude Love. Here we are at Over the Edge 1998. Getting ready for a second consecutive title shot against Steve Austin. Check this one out as well. This match is also fantastic. Dude Love, Dude Love. What else was on this show? I might see if I can look it up really quickly. Over the Edge 1998. Let's run through the card during Austin's entrance because it is long. Very interesting indeed. LOD 2000 defeated the Disciples of Apocalypse, 8-Ball and Skull with chains. Here comes Austin, here comes Austin. Still the WWF champion.
Weighing 252 pounds, here is WWE Champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
We also had Jeff Jarrett with Tennessee Lee, remember him? I don't really. Defeating Steve Blackman. Quite a long match, over 10 minutes. Muck Murray defeated Sable in 20 seconds. Kai and Tai, which was made up of Dick Togo, Nenzukyo and Shofunaki with Yamaguchi-san, defeating Bradshaw and Taka Michinoku in a 3-on-2 handicap match. That's a mouthful. The Rock defeated Farouk, successfully retaining the Intercontinental Championship. Kane beat Vader in a mask vs. mask match. The Nation of Domination, Dino Brown, Conor Mustafa and Owen Hart with Mark Henry defeated DX, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg and Triple H with China and X-Pac. And then we're up to this match here. Steve Austin versus Dude Love, Falls Count Anywhere match for the WWF title with Vince McMahon as special referee. And then I think it moves into that triple threat where it's Austin versus Undertaker and Kane at the next pay-per-view. The final matchup is for the WWF Championship. Is Vince holding the title? Should have made Vince wear some wrestling gear when he wrestled. Another absolute slobber knocker. Check this match out as well. Terrific chemistry between these two.
How do you feel? I wish all of you could be here tonight, folks, wherever you are, and experience this feeling.
Well, I know how Mr. McMahon is feeling. He's feeling that this is the last time that Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to hold the championship.
Well, Mr. McMahon has stacked the deck. If Austin lays one hand on Mr. McMahon, Austin will forfeit the title.
So get Dude Love's damage to moderate and attempt to pin.
Body slam. Dude Love can come out of nowhere. He almost beheaded his opponent with that clothesline.
Nicely avoided there.
Wow, what a sequence. Oh, what a power right hand.
A scoop slam.
Good way to get damage done is holding R1, just targeting the head. You don't really want to target anywhere else. You don't need to target limbs unless you have a specific submission.
And he hits the swinging neck breaker. Big right hand by Austin.
He just turned him.
Stumbling a mud hole, stumbling a mud hole, stumbling a mud hole.
He's putting those educated feet to good use.
Dude Love.
Dude Love with a brilliant reversal.
Look at this. Dude Love reversed it.
Absolutely pounding away. I can never really get him in the seated corner position for the mud hole stomping. I'll try just to keep wailing away.
Stone Cold wants to make this a bar fight.
As long as you just give them a punch, they'll slide down. It's still normal when you have these main events.
That'll scramble your brains.
They tend to have a lot of health. I do like in some of the later games you could pick the momentum meter, whether you wanted a quick, normal, or long match, or an epic match as they called it. So if you really wanted to have a main event type of match, you could. If you wanted a quick TV match, you could have that as well. Moderate, and attempt to pin. And Vince does nothing.
Austin's got it. Austin's got this win.
Mr. McMahon's not going to do it. If you touch him, you'll forfeit the title. I dare you to touch him.
The chance of Vince, he's hitting with a chair.
McMahon is out. We don't have a referee.
Pin dude in 1 minute.
Dude Love and Austin are
I kind of want to hit him with a stunner,
fighting without a referee.
but I'm running a risk.
Mr. McMahon won't be out forever.
I'm running a risk, running a risk.
Nasty elbow.
Oh no, cactus clothesline.
Make no mistake, that was a debilitating clothesline.
Oh no, that was a mistake by me.
The two competitors lock
A
up.
lock up. No. Get him in the ring. Why didn't he come in the ring?
Dude Love taking punishment
I'll
now.
just pin him.
We got to cover.
Austin's got the cover, but there's no referee.
Wake up, Vince, wake up. 1, 2, 3.
McMahon was out, but Steve Austin made the count using his arm.
Champion, Stone Cold Steve.
Oh my God! Look at the carnage! Stone Cold Steve Austin has done it! The Rattlesnake has won!
Austin is victorious. Austin is victorious. And that's the end. Thank you for joining me. It's been Crabman from Crabman Gaming. See you next time.